Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Hall. I'm your athletic director here at Mayville State. I want to welcome you to the first edition of the Comet Corner. Today we have with us our head volleyball coach, Coach Johnson. How are we doing?
Good.
Good, good. A little bit different obviously. We're going to try to talk as clear as possible with our masks on, obviously because of the pandemic, but volleyball season is here and we're excited. So Coach, different times obviously as we sit here masks on, but what's that been like for the team, you know, coming into preseason and you know, getting acclimated with some of the new things such as masks and social distancing and such?
You know, ultimately at the end of the day, I think these kids are just really happy to be playing volleyball. They are excited to be in the gym. It feels like forever. You know, we got called off last March, and we were just kind of getting into the spring season. It was disappointing and it was sad, and then it kind of kept lingering, and then summer had so many limitations, and so being able to just get our kids in the gym and do what feels a little normal has been, I think, really good for all of us, just to be able to be there. You know, in terms of all the stuff, I think, ironically, the kids, even college kids tend to adapt even better than those of us who are a little bit older, but they jumped right in. They did the thing. We were in preseason. We tested. We kind of stayed in our own little pod. We were fortunate to have all negative tests. We were able to kind of get going once it was time. And then it felt good. You know, we were with masks when we were out of the gym, and we had days where we were without masks in the gym, and I think just playing volleyball felt good.
Awesome, awesome. Well, you're spot on. You know, seeing the kids around campus, all of them wear masks and things, and they're embracing it because they want to play. So it's exciting. So like I said, different times, and glad the girls have adjusted and are doing a great job with that. But let's talk a little volleyball now, right? I mean, you get going this weekend. The season's finally here. I know you're fired up. I know the ladies are fired up. You know, in the preseason, what have you focused on? What's a little bit different? Obviously, you know, new players and such, and you know, what's been something that you focused on this preseason as you enter your first competition this weekend?
Yeah, you know, we have a good core of kids coming back that were on the floor last year that played for us. So and even the ones that didn't, that have known the system for years, and they just kind of led these new kids right in and taught them what they needed to know, and it's been good. You know, we've been so strong defensively in the last couple years, both blocking and on defense, and I don't anticipate that ends. You know, we lost our All-American Jaden Warner to graduation, and we lost a really big offensive threat, Hannah Bliss, and then we lost Kiana Johnson on the outside and Mary Kalal, and all four of those kids contributed in ways that, you know, kind of are irreplaceable. But we've got this new core of kids that kind of came in and with the guidance of those older players just jumped right on board and are learning the ropes quickly, and it's been good. You know, in terms of emphasis, I think for us we need to learn to terminate the ball a little bit more, and that's been our point of emphasis right now. Our defense looks good, and that's always really fun when we don't have to focus as much on that, being an offensive minded coach, but we're fortunate because we have Jaden Warner, Jaden Wilson recently got married, so she is kind of at the helm coaching up our defense, and
awesome.
That's been really nice to have her there as well, to be able to kind of use her expertise in the defensive realm.
Absolutely. Well, you talk about core returners, and obviously Victoria Johnson returning All-American. What kind of role do you see her individually from a leadership perspective, potentially with the program this year?
Yeah, you know, besides being a very talented player, Victoria is such a leader. She's a leader on our team. She's a leader on campus. She's involved with all kinds of organizations, and she kind of comes to the forefront as a leader. And I think the minute you get to be a bit of an upperclassman, you take a little more responsibility in that leadership, and it's not just what is. You take responsibility, and she's done a really nice job. She not only leads by example in terms of how hard she works, and her intensity and her sense of urgency. But also she's working with some of our younger kids and specifically in her position to be able to help them get better. And that's really fun to see. You know, we return Victoria, we return Mason Hart, who's been on the floor for me for the past 3 seasons in a defensive capacity, and is moving into that libero role this year. And same thing, just really embracing the leadership role that she has, because she's that kind of kid who it's just natural for her. And then Elora Pesa, who was an all-conference player for us last year as a freshman, is back on the court as well. We have Jordan Lucas, who played a role in defense and is going to be playing a bigger role, and Amy Syme, who also played a role on defense, playing again this year. So we have a lot of good core returners. Natalie Hadrava,
back in action.
Back in action.
Yeah.
She, ruptured her Achilles last year and is back and looks really solid. So,
awesome.
Those are just kids that have been on the floor for us at Mayville State, and then you bring in a couple junior college kids with a lot of success. Lily Pyle and Rachel Hill both are coming in with a lot of accolades themselves, and they just jumped right in and are learning the ropes and doing the thing. So it's been nice.
That's awesome, Coach. Sounds like an awesome core. Obviously a little mix of new and old, which is awesome. And, it all gets going this weekend, right? So Labor Day weekend, and past few years, since I've been here, we didn't have really an early season home game because you're at tournaments and such. And I know you've had to massage and juggle your schedule quite a bit to make things happen. But this weekend, obviously, you're local Saturday, but then you're home here in the Louis Lee on Sunday for 2 games at 12 and 6. With a non-conference rival game with Valley at noon, and then Hastings at 6. What are you looking for this weekend, whether you're in Jamestown or at home this Sunday to start the season?
Yeah, it's very rare that we're not able to start our season with a scrimmage. Mm-hmm. And, you practice, and you want to see where you're at against other competition, and we're accustomed to being able to scrimmage. We've scrimmaged Crookston just down the road, or we've scrimmaged Moorhead, or we've done some of these scrimmages that have allowed us to be able to kind of see where we're at and what we need to work on. And I think inter-squad scrimmages are great because you get to see things, but when you've been playing with each other for 3-4 weeks or 3-4 years, you know each other's tendencies, and so you're able to take things away that another team won't be able to take away as quickly. So I think it's going to be really interesting to be able to step foot on the court and have our first game be our first outing.
Right.
We kick off with Dakota Wesleyan on Saturday at Valley, so a lot of accommodations are being made to try to get fewer teams at fewer or more sites.
Right.
So we're playing Dakota Wesleyan at Valley, and then we drive down the road that same day and go to Jamestown and play Jamestown, which is different and crazy, and but it'll be good. Both teams are going to be good competition. Obviously, Jamestown finishing where they did in the top 4 in the nation last year, top 8. They're going to be a tough team again. He always puts together a good squad. Lindsay Wilbur over at Dakota Wesleyan always puts together a great team. They're always competitive. So just day one, I'm just looking to see that the little things that we've worked on throughout preseason, that we're executing those things.
Awesome.
I think we've got some talent, so I think we'll be able to hold our own, but I want to see those little things. I want to see us execute those things.
Awesome. And then, Coach, we talk about, changes with this year and things like that. As you're obviously well aware, our volleyball season is split now, right? You got the fall, and then you'll have half your conference games along with some out-of-conference games, and then you got the spring. So I think you wrap up October 10th with the fall season before coming back in the spring for the second half of the season, and then the conference tournament, which will take place in the spring, and the national tournament also taking place in the spring. How does that change things from a mentality standpoint? And then, uncharted territory for you as well as a head coach to be able to split things like that. What are your thoughts on that?
The beauty is it's uncharted for everybody.
Right.
Nobody's at an advantage because nobody's done this before. Mm-hmm. And if you've learned anything, it's you can control nothing. And so we're gonna do it. We're just gonna figure it out. Like I said, these players just want to play, and if it means that we play some in the fall and some in the spring, and that means we get to have a full season, then great.
Right.
Then that's the ultimate goal. But we'll figure it out as we go. It's going to be very strange. Our preseason was strange, not having 3 preseason tournaments before we got going with a regular match, and being in school this much has been strange because we're usually on the road on Thursdays for the first 2-3 weeks of school. But it's okay. We'll play. We're going to play our first 7 conference games in the fall. We have a few non-conference games sprinkled in there, so we'll play till October 10th, pending we don't get a few more games or we're not having to pause any games. And then we'll pick back up in the spring when they tell us we can pick back up in the spring, and it'll be like a second season. We'll probably run it like a preseason, and hopefully we'll be back in tournaments then where we can play several games on a weekend at one location. That makes it a little bit easier, but like I said, everybody's doing it and everybody's trying to figure it out, and we're all doing the best that we can. And as long as we're doing the best that we can for our student athletes, I think then we're doing the right thing. And so it'll be different, it'll be strange, but we get to play volleyball year round. So silver lining is we get to play volleyball year round.
There you go.
Right?
There you go. Well, that's awesome. And Coach, I know you're excited about the season and the potential for the ladies. Always a very strong conference. We can talk another show another time as far as your competition. Obviously, Viterbo and Bellevue are always pretty strong programs as well, and I know you guys are going to be right there. So exciting! Can't wait to see it. I'd like to tell the crowd that Sunday again at 12 o'clock and at 6 o'clock, our first 2 games. Due to CDC regulations, we won't be able to allow to have more than 500 people total in the Louis Lee on Sunday. And we're working out the kinks right now to be able to handle that and make sure that we're in code. So if you are able to come support the Comets on Sunday, Labor Day weekend, you're in town, I know Coach Johnson would love for you to do so. And fall sports are here, even though if it's a little different. So we appreciate your support. And Coach, anything else? Any final thoughts?
Nope, would love the support. Wear your mask.
There it is. There it is. Mask will be mandated. Thank you, Coach. Mask will be mandated in the Louis Lee. So, Coach, I know you're busy. I really appreciate your time and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.